Good afternoon, everyone. This is Ken with Ken's Creations with my Silhouette Cameo review on the machine, the designer software, and the features and benefits. I decided to get this machine after many days of consideration due to the fact of its endless possibilities. I started my crafting world about 5 years ago, and I had originally gotten the Cricut Expression, and it sat in a box in my closet for 2 years. Never used it. And then when I finally did want to use it, I went to Cricut.com to look at the different cartridges that have come out, and I realized something called the Cricut Imagine, which is right over here. I love the fact on the Cricut Imagine that they advertise that you could print and cut and do so much more with this machine that you could do with any other machines. It was a huge selling point to me and a huge time saver. I jumped at the opportunity to get one at the price of $2.99, and to be honest, it came a week later and I loved it. For the first 6 months, I used it a great deal. However, in that first 6 months, I do realize there was a lot of frustrations. The print and cut feature didn't live up to my expectations. Sometimes it didn't line up. The machine would just shut down on itself. The upgrades were just a nightmare. One upgrade took me a whole weekend to do. Anyways, because of those frustrations, when the Expression 2 came out, I jumped at the opportunity to get it. What I loved about the Expression 2 is it was like the Expression 1, however it had an interface that you could use and see your mat. You could see where your different parts of your cuts were going. You could see and change everything from that user interface, and it was very technology advanced, which I loved. So that has actually been my go-to machine. I use it probably the most out of my machines when it's by itself. When I was on eBay one day, a listing came up for a Cricut Mini for $50. I won the bid, and I figured, well, for 50 bucks, Cricut Mini, why not? So I bought it, and that introduced me to Cricut Craft Room. I actually love Cricut Craft Room. I love going on my computer and all the features and benefits it came with. So for me, it was a great investment, and it quickly became my favorite Provo Craft machine. As you can see there, I also have a Making Memory slice. There's a Your Story and a Cuttlebug there. So the question is why did I buy this machine? When I told my partner I was buying another machine, he thought I was crazy and lost my mind. He had no idea why I needed this machine, and frankly, either did I. But after I started researching it and put a post on my blog, I found out that most people responded with either A, that they have the machine and they love it, B, that they don't want to invest more money into a machine when they have invested so much money into Cricut, and the last one is people who didn't even want to look at the machine because they were on the fence, or they weren't sure, or they wanted the machine and then the next minute they didn't want it. So they were actually looking for feedback of what I thought of the machine. After many days of considering it, I came down to the realization that even though I have 200 Cricut cartridges and I have all their machines, the features and benefit of this machine outweighed not getting it. So I decided to make the leap and get the machine. Now, I went to many different places to compare prices. I went to Amazon, eBay, individual people's websites, and I found someone told me about going on the Scrapyard on Facebook, and they found an individual there named Jackie Perry who sells the Silhouette and all their other product. And I wanted to make sure I bought it from an authorized dealer just in case I did have any problems. When I did find her and talk to her, I found out that the machine itself, which comes with a mat, the basic software, was $214. She also had a bundle, which was the machine, the designer upgrade software, an extra mat, so you get 2 mats, a scraper, a hook, a spatula, all for $275. That's the one that I went with. So as you can see in front of you, you have the machine. There's a mat there, right there in front of it, the blue looking thing. This is the spatula that comes with it, so it's just a basic spatula. Here is the hook that came with it. Once again, just a basic little hook to to grab your little pieces. And the scraper, just to scrape up things, came with it as well. Plus an extra mat. So I've had this machine for about 2 weeks, and I wanted to kind of tell you some things that I actually loved about the machine. So here is the machine. Here what you see is obviously the machine itself, the controller panel, and then the mats that came with it. Just from the start, things that I like about it is everything user faces right over here. So obviously we can turn the machine on right here, and everything you need is right there. It also has magnets to keep your lid shut, which at first I didn't think was a big deal, but I actually really like that feature. Some other things is the fact that you can move around the roller. You just unlock it, and you're actually able to move down these rollers. Down here, if you're cutting a smaller thing right here and you want the rollers there. And then you can lock it. Other thing is your blade. Interesting thing about the blade, we're so used to Cricut products having where you actually replace the blade, and this here you actually get a whole blade cartridge. It also comes with a little wrench here that you can actually make your blade a deeper cut if you need to. But everything I've read says that you should always try to have it at the 3. Not sure why. I haven't actually tested that. I actually have mine right now at 5. So anyways, just goes right in there and lock it down. One other feature I like that you don't see here is the ability to cut vinyl on the Cameo. You actually don't need to use the mat to cut vinyl, which is a huge advantage for me. You just load your vinyl in, it cuts it right on there, very easy. Now I'm not sure if that is the Silhouette Cameo's vinyl or everyone's vinyl, but it's a great feature. Which brings me to the mats. So right here are their mats. A couple things I like about the mats. Number one, they're see-through. You can see behind it. So if you want to make sure you've lined something up correctly, you can actually turn it over and see all of the lines to make sure it's an even lined product. The other thing is the stickiness. For those of you who remember, Cricut used to have these mats that were not sticky at all. You would cut twice and then they stopped working. This one, I have not yet had that problem where it is not sticky. I've done about 4 different projects on there, and it's been great. So I have high expectations for these mats, and everything I've heard from other people is pretty amazing. So that's just the basic stuff on the Cameo machine, but let me take you to my favorite part, which is the software. Alright, so here is the software. Now I have the designer software, but it comes with the basic. Now, I know you can't see a lot right now, but I just wanted to show you that you have your mat here that obviously you can go ahead and cut with. And then you have a lot of features that were never ever on the craft room that I could see, that I wanted to go over with those. So let's go look at those each individually really quick. Alright, here's an up close of the software itself. I'm not going to go into all of these. To be honest, I have not used all of them yet. Some basic feature ones is here, the fill, where you can actually fill in any color of a cut item that you're going to turn into a print and cut feature. The cut option, or rhinestone option, which will let you design rhinestones for placement. Here's the cut feature. This is really cool because you can actually decide how your image is cut. So is it just going to cut the edge? Is it going to cut every single item? Are you going to do a perforated edge? So I use that feature a lot. Here is one of my biggest selling points of the Cameo. The fact that I can add any font to any of my projects. That's right. You can go online, find font for free, which I'll show you, and you can download it to your Cameo, print it, cut it, change the color, put it in the middle of a project, pretty much do whatever you want, which is a huge selling point and one of the main reasons I bought it. Over here you're going to see where you can modify your image. This here's an offset, which is something you can use when you're doing your print and cut. Same with the trace. This is something that you're able to add on to an image from the internet, which I'll show you in a little bit. This here is sets up the page, so are we doing a 12 by 12 or a letter? This is your cut settings. This is your registration mark. So this is for print and cut, or when you're going to be print and cutting, so I will show you that. And here is the grid. Alright, so now as I said earlier, one of my favorite features is the font feature. So up here where the font is, right there, if I go to font, I can go down here and pick any type of font. So let's say I want Dark Times. Click on here. Alright, one of my favorite features of the software is the font feature. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to quickly show you what we can do on that. So what we need to do is over on this side we need to say that we're going to be doing font. And then on your font menu, which is the A up here, we're going to select what font we want to use. So let's, for fun, do something kind of fun like this one. So once I have that, I can come in anywhere on my mat and just push, and you'll see a cursor, and then you can type. Isn't that amazing? Any font. So I can actually download more fonts and add them to my computer. Now you can print that, you can fill it in with color, you can incorporate it into your design. Amazing, amazing feature. So let me show you where I go to get my... Okay, one of my favorite sites to get fonts is dafont.com. It's literally got hundreds of different fonts, and as you can see here, all the different names: fancy, foreign look, techno, bitmap, gothic, basic, script, and dingbats. And all you have to do is go to the category you want and find the one you like. So for example, this Pulse one I really like, and let's say that's the one I want to do. Over here, all I do is hit download, and it downloads it right to your computer. Alright, so I'm not sure how on a Mac, or excuse me, a Windows laptop or computer, but once in a Mac, if I want to go add that font, I'm going to go into my Windows Finder. It'll open up for me. And then up here, I'm going to go to where it says, where I do all my downloads. So there it says KR, downloads. And there is all, as you can see I have a lot, but there is all of the fonts that I currently have downloaded. And so for example, let's say Back to the Future or Batman Forever. All I do is I double click on the font, it shows it to me right here, and then another box is going to pop up and it's going to say, do you want to download this font? So right here, you just then go install font, and just like that, it adds it to your Cameo silhouette. So pretty amazing. Any font you want. Alright, now as you know, one of the main reasons I got my Cameo was the ability to print and cut. So now you can actually do this a couple different ways. You can go download images from Silhouette's online store, or you can actually get images from the internet and incorporate them directly into the software. First, let me show you just getting it. Alright, so when you go to the store, it's just www.silhouetteonlinestore.com, which brings you to this website. Now, the online store has tons of different categories you can look at, and each image is usually just around 99 cents to download. Now, I heard from tons of people on my blog that you should subscribe and save, and they are absolutely right. So if you go to this box here and go subscribe and save, let me get there for you, it's going to bring up a different window of all the different features. So as you can see here, they have 99 cents per file if you just want to do a basic image by image, or they have basic, which is $9.99, deluxe is $14.99, or premium is $19.99. Now I went with the premium, which I pay $20 a month, but I get $150 to spend every month. Are you kidding me? That is tons. And I have a little secret for you. When you go to subscribe now, it's going to bring up your window to pay for it. So as you can see there, it says $19.99. Now, if you go down here to promotions and actually put in the word Silhouette and hit apply code, Oh, what did that do? Look at that. It brought your price down to $16. $16 for $150 every month. And then what it does is basically every month you're going to see your account credit up here. So I got $150 for the month of February, and I still have $76.77 to use. So every month I pay $16, and I get $150 to spend on anything on the site. Absolutely amazing. So once you download all of that, it actually will end up in your Silhouette software. So we're going to relaunch in that. And what you're going to do is over here you're going to see a little library. And that brings up all of the images that came with the machine. And then over here you're going to see recent downloads. And look at that. That's all your designs that you've downloaded. So it just automatically loads it right into your... Alright, so let's say there is an image online you want, and they don't have it in the Silhouette store. Can you find an image online and bring it into the Silhouette software? Absolutely. So to show you this, I'm just going to go to yahoo.com, and right there I'm going to type Mickey. Okay, so up on the top here, you're going to see where it says web, images, video. If you hit images, it's going to bring up all these different images of Mickey. So let's go to this image. The reason why I want to show you some of these different images is the bigger the image, the better quality it's going to have in the software. So for example, this Mickey Mouse has only got 342 by 491, 83.6 KB. It's not going to be big enough and the quality is not going to be good enough. So let's look at this one. This one is 1600 by 1600. So that's the one we're going to use. So you're just going to click on that and it's going to bring up Mickey here. There he is. Oh, Mickey, you're so cute. And on my software, I just have to hit right click and we're going to save image as. And a little box will pop up saying where you want to save it. So we're just going to save it to my desktop and put Mickey, and then I'll show you how to bring it. Alright, once you're back in your Silhouette software, you're actually going to bring that Mickey into the software. Now what you're going to do is using up here, you're going to see a Silhouette Studio and the word File right there. So what you're going to want to do is click on File. And you're going to open wherever you stored Mickey. So I just stored him on my desktop. He's right there. I'm going to double click on him. And there is Mickey. Now he's huge, and that's because earlier I showed you it's 20 by, or it was 1600 by 1600, which is what you want because it's going to be nice and big. Now in another video I'll show you how we're able to print and cut that. Which is a lot more, and I think it's a lot more to do than the rest of this video has time for. But I wanted to show you that you are able to print and cut any image from online. Alright guys, so that is a quick reason why I actually am in love with the Cameo. For the price I paid for it and what I'm able to do, this machine is absolutely a must for any crafter. And I'm saying that being a Cricut fanatic that I am, you must own this machine if you want to take your abilities and ideas to the next level and actually accomplish them. I hope to do more videos to show you more in depth on each of the things I showed you. I know it was very fast and my camera skills are not as good as they could be, as I am trying to buy a camera and a pod to set things up on. This was just done on my iPhone using my two hands, so hence why it's a little shaky. But thank you for sticking around for the whole video. I know it was a long video, but for anyone who's on the fence, I highly, highly suggest getting this great machine. Alright, thank you guys. Thanks for being followers, and I look forward to adding more videos and showing you where we can take our creativity.